A local organization is honoring female veterans and sharing their stories beyond the battlefield. Bo's Blessings hosted an event at the Arkansas Air and Military Museum today. 5 News reporter Jada Daniels gives us a look inside today's fashion show with a purpose.
Beauty beyond the battlefield turned the runway into a stage for sacrifice and life after service. Veteran models walked the runway while young people in the community helped lead the event. Attendees donated diapers and baby wipes to support military families, giving these kids a first-hand experience on the challenges they face.
Told me that it's for people that their daddy goes to the military and the mommy and baby are all alone.
And for 15-year-old organizer Lily Maples, she says today's event was all about showing these women that their service is appreciated on and off the battlefield.
To bring awareness to the female veterans in the community, I know that all veterans are equal, but women especially do not get honored and get the recognition that they deserve. I really wanted to bring awareness to them and change that, becoming an advocate for female veterans in my own community.
Mapple says the event showed that honoring veterans is about more than awards or ceremonies, but about passing the legacy to the next generation.
I hope they feel loved, I hope they feel appreciated, and they just are honored in a unique way that they have not had before.
The event also helped kids understand the reality of service.
Most of them are on their phones a lot, and they don't really recognize what these people did for us, that they could have died for us. And so I think that they need to realize that they did do a great deal for us, and we need to appreciate that.
And you can learn a lot from their stories.
Maple says she encourages other teens to get involved in their local community to ensure these veteran stories beyond the battlefield are never forgotten. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Jada Daniels, 5 News.
Today's nice weather was met with a crowd at the Fayetteville Square for a look ahead of this year's farmers market season. The Spring Fling on the Square hosted market vendors for smaller scale previews ahead of the season. The full Fayetteville farmers market season begins in April. Vendors say after each winter, they're always excited to meet back with the community on the square. And if you missed the Spring Fling event, another will be held next Saturday with the full farmers market season starting April 4th. A procession was held in Oklahoma after 2 firefighters died on their way to a house fire yesterday morning. Oklahomans shared stories of Brian Jenkins and Todd Pendleton. Jenkins had been a volunteer firefighter for the past 35 years, working for Cleveland County as well. Pendleton worked for the OKC newspaper, The Oklahoman, for decades as a graphic journalist. Cleveland County Commissioner of District 2, Jacob McHughes, says Jenkins would give the shirt off his back and would help anybody if he could.
The question is, what didn't he do? Like everything, when we went out to the fairgrounds, he was there. He took care of everything from, helping out with the fair board. We just built an event center. Brian was all over taking care of that. There was no job too big or too small. We just gave it to Brian and he took care of it.
The Oklahoman newspaper made a statement saying they're devastated by the loss of both the firemen, adding that Todd loved his work as both a firefighter and a journalist. Well, a Fort Smith woman says she's grateful to be alive tonight after being stabbed 32 times by her ex-boyfriend. Benjamin Moody from Eufaula, Oklahoma, was arrested for attacking her. Just 4 years ago, he was convicted of stabbing another woman, but served 3 years of his prison sentence. Chloe Abbott spoke to the victim from her hospital room.
As a single mother, Gina Moody says her 7 kids are her world.
They've saved me so many times, just mentally and stuff, it's just, they've been my rock. Everything I've done is for them.
Gina says they are what gave her the strength to survive being stabbed dozens of times over the weekend. Gina says she broke up with Benjamin Moody about a month ago, but they remained friends. She says they spent the day together on Sunday, and she agreed to let him sleep over at her home.
And I was just joking with him, and he just started yelling at me, just going off on me.
She says Moody then grabbed a hatchet from his backpack and started hitting her.
And he just had this big smile on his face. And I got the hatchet away from him. He got me a few good times, got me in the head, and I tried to fight him as much as I could and protect any vital organs and stuff.
Her sister was there and got all the kids out safely, then called 911. She says she knew about Moody stabbing another woman a few years ago, but he swore he had changed and it was an accident, and she believed him. She says she'll never make that mistake again.
Now, just it happening to me, I can probably tell you firsthand that he probably did mean to do it the first time, as well as he meant to do it this time. If they have any past of any type of domestic violence, don't trust them.
Joseph Duggar and his wife are now facing charges in Arkansas. It comes a day after he was extradited to Florida for an alleged child sex crime. Both Joseph and his wife Kendra are facing 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor and 4 counts of false imprisonment. Joseph is currently accused of molesting a 9-year-old during a trip to Florida in 2020 and was extradited this week. Taneytown police say that investigation prompted these new charges, but they're not related to the crime. We spoke to locals in the area to see how they're feeling about the situation.
When you hear about it in the news, or like someone in Mississippi said something happened, like something like that, it always feels, hearing that reality is so close, can be a little bit scary and kind of just makes you really, really think about it.
No additional details have been released. We'll keep you updated as new information emerges. The U.S. and Israeli war against Iran is now in its 4th week with no clear end in sight. An IDF spokesperson says Iran struck 2 communities near Israel's main nuclear research site, injuring dozens. U.S. Navy Admiral and CENTCOM Commander Brad Cooper said Iran's military capabilities have taken a significant hit and says the campaign has degraded Iran's ability to threaten shipping in and around the Strait of Hormuz, a critical shipping lane for the world's oil.
On day 22 of combat operations, U.S. forces continue to take bold action and remain on plan to eliminate Iran's ability to project meaningful power outside its borders. We are taking out thousands of Iranian missiles, advanced attack drones, and all of Iran's navy, which they use to harass international shipping.
In another development, Iran targeted a joint British-U.S. base some 2,500 miles away in the Indian Ocean, suggesting Iran has missiles that can travel further than previously acknowledged. Iran received a temporary license from the Trump administration last night to sell its oil. It's a 1-month waiver that applies to 140 million barrels worth of oil that's been sitting afloat on tankers. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says that's enough to satisfy the entire world's oil demand for about a day and a half. Iranian oil has been sanctioned by the U.S. on and off for decades. Trump administration blocked the sale of the country's crude since it abandoned the Iran nuclear agreement in 2018.